Shirley's going to share a bit of a devotional this morning, and come on up here. Stand over there. We'll lower it for her. So, I have certainly enjoyed getting to know Shirley over these years of my involvement here with seniors. She is a lady that is really tiny, but she's really huge inside. Yeah, she has an incredible heart. She's been an author of kids' books. I don't know, how many have you written?
Well, altogether written 8 books, but not all kids' books, though.
Okay, written 8 books, not all kids. Some are for slightly less kiddie people like me. So, there we go. But anyway, she is going to share. And so let me pray for Shirley. Jesus, thank you that you have given Shirley a heart to share. And I thank you that you walk with her as she walks with you. And that there is someone who, she never walks alone in the garden, as we just sang. She walks with you. So bless her as she speaks in Jesus' name. Amen. It's yours.
Thank you. Good. If anybody doesn't hear me at some point in time, I hate to confess this, but I have hearing aids, and I worry that I'm either shouting at you, or you're not hearing me, or I'm talking too fast, because I tend to talk quickly. So do something to stop me, because once I get going, thank you, Sherry. Yeah, I just love those songs. That last one is just so joyful. And it has the words I wanted in it. He walks with me and he talks with me. And that has been my experience over the last number of years. I'm a walker and have been for quite some time. And I just so appreciate God's beauty outdoors. I don't know how you commune with God. There's no set way. It's all okay as long as you and God are talking together. It just happens to be my way that I walk and talk. Always talking. Oh no, listening sometimes too. Sometimes I'm very quiet, actually. Sometimes I'm very talkative. You know, it depends on the mood I'm in. But sometimes there's a mood that's not quite so joyful, and I really knew, God knows, right? And it's okay. So, however you commune with God, it's just amazing that, and the important thing is not how you do it, but that we do it. That we set aside a time in our day that is just for the two of you. You and him, me and him. And that's why I love being out in God's world. And that's my time of prayer. That's my garden to pray in. Anyway, I want to tell you some short stories. They're true stories about how God has spoken to me. I do not hear audible voice, but God has shown me really in unique ways that he has heard me, that he cares for me, he gives me ideas, he does all kinds of amazing things that I'm just going, what? Like, how could this be? There's one story particularly that sticks out in my mind, and that is a story of one day when I'm feeling down. I'm walking my walk, and I'm just not even feeling like talking to God particularly. I'm just thinking, you know what? I prayed about this, Lord, for a long time. Like, what's up here? Nothing's happening. And I just felt discouraged, frustrated, and a failure. So I've been praying for an agent, a publisher, for this next book I have written. I have spent a lot of time writing this book. I've edited, re-edited, on, and it's time something's going to happen. So I'm just kind of saying, Lord, what's up? Am I not in your way? Am I not in your will? Is this not what I'm supposed to be doing? Is there another path you want me on? Anyway, I was walking along, and there's a particularly beautiful area in this particular trail, and it's a little brook that flows under, I forgot to turn on my timer, a little brook that gurgles underneath this lovely little bridge, and I like to stop there and just kind of soak in the beauty and the quietness and listen to God's music as the water goes over the pebbles. And one day, as I was getting closer to this, my mood changed. I thought, it's going to be okay, God. we're together in this. And I noticed something different. As I neared this little bridge, I noticed something was stuck between two of the railings. I'm thinking, that's weird, never seen that before. So when I step onto the bridge, I notice there's no name, there's no address, there's no envelope, just a piece of paper folded in three, the way you would a small letter. And I'm thinking, well, you know, nobody's watching. So I slip it out carefully, not wanting to tear it. And when I open it, this is such, I'm overwhelmed. It says, God willing. And I want to read you just a couple of lines. It's quite long. About 16, it says, God willing. When it looks like I have failed, I find myself asking, Lord, are you trying to tell me something? Failure doesn't mean I'm a failure. It does mean I haven't succeeded yet. And as you can see, it goes on and on and on, and I don't want to spend time, but you can come up and read it after if you like. And it ends in this way. Failure doesn't mean I'll never make it. It does mean I need more patience. And God is working on me in that department. Failure doesn't mean you have been abandoning me. God, it does mean you must have a better way. And I treasure this because who knew? Who's it for? I certainly fulfilled the description of failure, I thought. And I felt, I don't know. So I took it home, and I couldn't wait to tell Doug, my husband, I've had a message from God. Seriously, I did nothing with it for a few weeks other than let it kind of soak in, permeate, just kind of figure this thing out, which I'm not really supposed to, I guess. So I put a thank you in that same railing one day when I was walking. And it was telling this person, whoever put this letter in for me to find, especially for me, I wanted to thank them and tell them how much God had spoken to me. I left it. I didn't walk that direction for a few days. I came back one day. It was gone. I just thought it was beautiful. So God has shown me some really interesting ways another time, and it's sometimes when I'm not in a good mood. Well, I don't usually get into a bad mood, but you know, just some days there are days when, and it was during COVID, when a number of us, all of us probably, after it's been going on for a while, you sort of think, okay, it can go over now. That would be good. So I wasn't nothing was happening because all of the shows I had booked to participate in were canceled or gone virtual. This didn't work for me. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a little holiday. It'll be okay, right? And so that's what I did. And as it turns out, it didn't go away when I thought it should. A year later, I haven't been writing. And I'm walking on my trail one day and I said, you know, I really should do some writing. You know, you really need to keep at your craft. And so I thought, here I am in God's beautiful world. And I say to God, I don't know what to write about. It's kind of an insult, wasn't it? But to be honest, I wasn't motivated. I just wasn't into it. But I knew I had to get back to it. And so I left it for a day or two. I'm walking, and one day I came across these little squirrels. Do you know how entertaining squirrels can be? And these two little squirrels, I think they were brothers. They were playing Catch Me If You Can. I'll tell you, they are so fast and so cute and so adorable and so entertaining. And the Lord said, open your eyes. Write a story about the squirrels. Squirrels? Okay, I can do that. I'm a kid at heart. I write children's literature. So As I was walking along, the stories started to grow in my head. I gave them a name and a whole story around the COVID thing. I came home and I just thought, this is really something. I will write this story. And just for a lark, I'll send it out. Just, no, everything's been turned down. So anyway, Sammy the Squirrel ended up being published in Our Canada, a beautiful magazine. And so it was just like, God has a sense of humor, right? I just thought that was so amazing. God seems to know that I need help. He gave me something else beautiful. In my children's picture book, at the end of it, I have this cute little ditty, I'll call it. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know if that's even a word today, but anyway, I thought, wouldn't it be neat if I could have a song to go with this little ditty? And so I had been singing, actually, one of the songs that we just sang this morning. I think those are two of my favorites, by the way. He walks with me and he talks with me. And I thought, okay, how would this go? I remember the words, and I'm going, da dum da da dum 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 da da dum 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 da da dum 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 dum. Dum 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 dum. I got it. Well, I'm telling you, I hurry home. I don't read music. I'm ashamed to admit that, but I love music. I really respect other people that are so good at it. We know who we're talking about here, don't we? Anyway, I hurried home, and I thought, okay, I know treble clef. That I know. Okay, dum dum. Okay, yeah. Oh, went down here. Oh, went back up. It's sort of like you were climbing a ladder, and then all of a sudden, whoop, you go down a step. You slip back down, and then, oh, up you go again. And so that's what happened. And that Sunday at church, Sean, at the back there, who was the musical director at the time, our now pastor, and I sang it to him. I thought, he's going to think I'm really weird. But I sang that silly little song to him, and I said, do you think we could get this onto, the treble clef properly? And he said, sure. I thought that was really kind. And between Sean and Linda Coffey, who teaches music here, I'm not sure if she still does it, but she certainly was doing it then, they made my beautiful music. Now, aren't those the prettiest notes you've ever seen? Yes, they are. I thought it was magic. And I still really appreciate, Sean just said sure. I just thought, that's amazing. So the Lord gave me the music, and it became part of my picture book. It just added another little dimension to it, if you will. And then I had the audio idea. I am not techie. This is the first PowerPoint I've ever done in my life. So with a lot of help and love from people, it's happening. But more recently this winter, my neighbor, who's quite elderly, who I see in summer and good weather times, will chat. And I've been missing her, so I thought one day I'll just take some more muffins over. And as I was leaving, I thought, there must be something else I could take for my friend. And so I thought, well, I'll take my mom's book, because it's about the olden days, and I thought she could identify with the stories of my mother's youth and growing up back when. It was actually my mother's birthday present from me for her 85th birthday. And she loved the muffins, and she thanked me for the book, and how long can I keep it? As long as you need it. So anyway, one day she calls, and I'm thinking, oh, she's telling me to come and pick up the book. And she had a question for me that I thought was a little strange, but maybe not. She said, do you have your book in audio? The light bulb went on. No, I'm sorry, I don't. I said, Well, my friend was just wanting to know, it's okay, don't worry about it. Thanks anyway. Then she called a couple weeks later and she said, Shirley, you can come and pick up your book. I said, oh, fine. So I go and have a little chat with her. She's 94 years old. This lady, she read a chapter a day of my stories to her blind friend over the phone. That was it just made me feel so good, because there's nothing worse than being an author and just having all your work in the file drawer. It's really frustrating, and today it's so hard to get published. And so it just made me feel maybe that's a new route that the Lord is leading me in. So I thought, podcasts. Maybe if I bug enough people, I can learn how to do that too. God has also spoken to me through some really unique friends. We're all unique, right? But this was the crossing guard lady. And this lady, I just chat with briefly, and I could tell that she probably didn't have much money and may have had a tough life, just by things she had mentioned to me. It's this year, well, now it was 23, but it was just before Christmas, so I was wishing her a happy Christmas, because knowing school would be over, she wouldn't be out on the street anymore for a few weeks. She said, Shirley, I have something for you. Me? I'm just a walker. You're the crossing guard lady. You're the one that should be getting gifts. She pulled out this Christmas ball. Now that may not look like much to you. And I have the prettiest Christmas tree. I just really appreciate my Christmas tree. I can't wait to get it out when it comes Christmas time. And beautiful, beautiful balls on it. But guess what? This little ball, given from the heart, means more than any of those other beautiful balls. And she has a little tag on it, and it said, from Becky, Crossing Guard, handmade with love, 2023. That has been my most recent one, other than I must mention to you about the gentleman that caught up to me walking one day, and he told me he was a veteran. And so I'm very interested. I hate war, but I'm interested in history. And my mom always was telling us about the veterans in her family, or those who went to war. And this gentleman shared some stories, and then he went on his way. And I'd see him occasionally, but from a distance. And I thought, is he sick? Has he moved? What's gone? He's disappeared on me. And one day I saw him again. And since then, I've seen him frequently. I didn't see him this morning, I saw him yesterday. And he does something that just makes me smile. He could be on, and this has happened, all true stories, folks, Ottawa Street, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, rush hour traffic. He's coming from a different direction. He's coming this way, I'm going that way. And there's 4 lanes of traffic. Busy, busy. And I'm sometimes in a zone, like I kind of just, and he caught my attention. And he kind of yelled over to me. And then he did a really amazing thing. He snapped to attention and saluted me. And I snapped to attention and I saluted him back. And I thought that was really cute, really fun. And my neighbor next door was a veteran after the war, and he was over there helping to clean things up. And I talked to him one day and he said, do you know what that means? Do any of you know what a salute actually means? He said it means I respect you, I see you. And I think this crossing guard just appreciated being seen and heard. And just shows what a little thing it is, just to share your life with people, give them a little encouragement, like I needed that first story I told you about, and this, I'm going to leave it up here in case some of you want to read it. And so I just thank God for the friends, for the opportunity you've given me today. And I just also want to say, let's remember to, that's a God thing. Gareth knows I love to talk. Well, everybody knows that. I told him I'd be very careful and respectful to our guests. But in closing, I just want to say that God does speak into your heart. And if you have open ears, eyes to see, where you might improve or help somebody along the way, God's in that. And he wants to be, you are his vessel. He wants to work through you. We're very blessed to have the most wonderful friends. And so, thank you, Gareth. When Gareth asked me to do this, I just thought, I have to do this because Gareth is such an amazing pastor to we seniors. And, you know, we're kind of a hard bunch to handle sometimes. I have some scripture passages. One of them is similar to the one that was part of this letter. And also, I have a couple favorites. The one that really speaks to me and that I really need to heed is Philippians. Don't worry about anything. Pray about everything. It's so beautiful and so simple. Pray, tell God what you need, and thank him. So I thank God, and I pray that I can continue to walk. I have a bit of a gimpy leg lately, but I'm praying to continue to walk and listen and watch. You do realize that these stories that I've told you have not all happened in 1 year. But over time, I have treasured and anticipate and wait for God to show me what's next in my life. Thank you for your attention. You've been very attentive.